Welcome to episode 3 of Misfits. This is the podcast where I speak to the rebels, troublemakers, and mavericks in Singapore. So these people are the folks who see things differently, gone off the beaten path, and found their pursuit. These people include Dr. Loretta Chen, the consultant for the Kingdom of Bhutan, Jeremy Tong, a mountaineer who's climbing the Everest. And today on the show, we have Betty Lee, who at the age of 60 decided to do something radical. So she packed a bag, packed a belonging, left everything in the storage unit, and proceed to travel the world for 400 days backpacking style, which means living in dormitory with the rest of us. So I met Betty during my gap year of traveling in South America about 4 years ago. We will talk more about how we first met in the show, but what I didn't mention is that I didn't know Betty was actually 61 when I met her, and I didn't know what it meant to be older in terms of health. So just a side story for you so that you can catch up to what we speak about. So one day, me and Betty decided to visit an Inca ruin called Pisa. So you take a bus from Cusco, and then you go to this little town, and from the town you make your way up to the ruin. So being a poor traveler that I am, I choose to go up to the ruin by climbing, and Betty sort of just comes along with the flow, with the ride. And during this hike, being the young man that I am, I'm usually ahead of Betty, and I'll be shouting, Betty, come on, let's go. And not knowing that she has bad knees. So fast forward, we made it to the ruin. There was a beautiful rainbow at the very top, and I then proceed to get my camera stolen on the very same day. So without further ado, this is Betty Lee.
Oh, thank you for coming to the show, Betty. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Well, yeah, we met like 2 days ago, but before then.
2012. Wait a minute, 2013, huh?
2013.
We met.
In Peru.
Yeah, June, I think.
Yes.
May or June.
So today in the show, we are in a very beautiful home of Betty, and I usually do an introduction of my guests, but today we'll have her introduce herself. So if you have to pick a noun to describe yourself, or two, what noun would it be?
Okay, when I was working, sort of like misfit.
Yeah.
Yes, I was a misfit. Yes. No, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't fit in with the crowd, and yet I was a misfit in MISS because I was doing marathon and running and cycling and all that. Yeah.
While the rest are.
Yeah, very aunties. Oopsie, shoot. Sorry.
It's okay. We can end it.
Yeah, please.
So I think not known to many, you are a late blossom to the traveling game. Could you tell us a list of countries you have been in the last 5 years?
Golly, last 5 years. So that's from 2000.
So this year is 2016.
So 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. Tibet. Right. Nepal. From then on, then it's going to be like Australia. And then Thailand, Chiang Mai, and all that, the Southeast Asia in that sense. And then, of course, my round the world, then London. That's outside of the round the world trip. So London, where was I? Norway, I went, yeah. Then after that, then 2012 to 2013, then I went around the world in the sense that it's anti-clockwise. That means from Singapore to Switzerland and then Europe and all, 4 months, I think. And then to USA, 3 months. And in South America, about 5 months. And in Australia, 2 months, I think. Yeah.
So in short, a lot of places. If I think we didn't count a country, but if we count it, it'd be somewhere in between. Like we need 3 hands plus two feet and 2 hands.
No, not that bad. About maybe 3 hands.
3 hands. Okay. That's
Left hand, right hand? Which hand?
both. I mean,
Both
like
hands.
1 to
Oh, yeah,
London,
okay.
Switzerland,
Yeah, three
And
pairs of hands.
Three pairs of
Yes.
hands.
Yes.
And I know it's usually very rude to ask someone
What's
this
that?
question, okay, especially a woman.
Yes.
How old are you?
Right now, going on 64.
And how old were you when we met?
Okay, 60 and a half.
60 and a half.
Yeah.
I would never cross my mind it was 60.
Oh gosh, really?
Yes. In
Yeah,
fact,
backpacking alone.
I actually print a photo.
Yes.
And I want to bring it to show it to you, but we will just have it in soft copy.
Let me have a look.
When you're
Really? When I was asleep? How did you do that? In the bus, is it?
Yeah, in the bus.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's where we saw the rainbow.
And
Oh
this is the
gosh, that
rainbow.
is great. Yeah, that is so great. Yeah, I had a Nokia handphone, so I couldn't take photos, you see.
You didn't have any photos during a trip.
The first part of the trip, like Greece and Eastern Europe and all, I didn't have any photos.
Oh.
Even Antarctica, I didn't have photos.
How come?
But it's okay, it's very liberating traveling
Oh.
without a camera,
Camera.
honestly.
And you have a phone.
I had a phone until I was somewhere in Sauta. Then I realized, hey, maybe I should try the camera in this Nokia little phone, you know. And I tried, clicked. It's fantastic.
Oh, it worked?
Yeah, it worked. The
What is
seven-colored
this?
mountain, and I said, I have got to take that photo, you know.
What is this phone that we're talking about? A Nokia. Do you still have it?
I think so.
But it was like a
Don't
color
ask me
phone.
to take it out. I don't know where it is.
It's
Yeah.
a color phone though.
Yeah. Yeah, not Android or yeah. Or iPhone. No.
Nothing smart, basically.
Yes, not smart. Yes.
It was great. It was great to see you actually. So I don't know exactly where. I mean, where we met is in Cusco, in Peru. But can you remember the exact moment that we met? Was it?
Yes.
Do you remember? Tell me.
You don't? Oh my god.
I don't.
It was in the tourist information center. And I was walking and I went in just to ask for some information, and I heard this guy, Asian, I saw Asian, and he was speaking in Spanish. I turned around and then it's got a Singapore accent.
So it's like Singapore
and I
Spanish
turned around.
accent.
Yeah, I turned around, I say, oh my God. So that's how we started talking, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was saying that, oh my God, you're my first Singaporean contact that I've come across. Yeah, in South America, after traveling for 4.5 months, yeah, it was like, oh my God, a Singaporean backpacking alone. Yeah.
That's true. And you were too.
Yeah, solo.
And I think you have more respect than me because you're a woman backpacking solo versus me, a young guy.
Yeah, and I had to tie my hair up, to look like, I'm mature, Yeah, just to fend off.
classes too.
Yes, I did for 1 month.
Maybe let's just crack it. What do you learn from traveling, and how did it make you see the world differently?
Learn from traveling.
Yeah, I mean, if anything.
Actually, I've been traveling since the age of 23, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because in school, I remember in primary school, there was this Eurasian teacher. When you earn your money, just travel. Save money and travel. You see a world and it's so different. And she was our geography teacher.
Mm.
Yep. And I was so inspired. I aced in geography anyway. It was a great subject. So that's how I started. So I've been like traveling every year. But this solo 400 days trip around the world alone with a backpack of 13 kilos, just like that, it's taught me that we don't need many material things. Just in one haversack, I could live 13, 14 months or 15 months just on what's inside.
If you don't mind, how big and what do you have inside?
It's 13 kilo. I don't
Also,
know.
it's quite small.
Quite small, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do
And
you?
with just a day pack in front, and that's about it.
What was your life material goods like in that period of time?
Of course, a pair of jeans, a pair of long, trekking pants, a pair of trekking shoes, Tiva sandals
I have the
for
Steva
water.
sandals too.
I still have it. I still have it.
Great. I wore it today.
Yeah,
Great.
you wore it. That
I wore
for the
Tiva,
trip.
yeah, the Tiva.
And it's still there or what?
I
The
got a
same-
new one after that. I just only got it.
Really?
Yes, Tiva sandals is great. I love it.
Yes. The Tiva is great, especially when you're trekking waters and all that, rivers, river crossing and all. What about that? Just tops, 2 or 3 tops. Yeah, undies, about 4 that you can wash. In fact, 3. Believe it or not, yeah, 3 undies that I survived on. Yeah,
For
it's
13, 14 months.
yeah. We don't need so many things.
Did you start it out with the same set of items
Yes.
when you went versus the first month versus the last month? It's the same 4 sets of undies and
Yeah.
wow.
Actually, I did. Yeah, I didn't add on maybe 1 or 2 tops from Turkey when H&M in Turkey that I grabbed. Yeah, and that's about it. I didn't buy. I didn't shop. Yeah, that's it.
That is
I
great.
didn't shop. It was like, oh my God, I want to buy this and that in Istanbul, Bulgaria, Greece.
In the same sense, would you recommend traveling to your fellow friends, Singaporeans, the young people, and why?
Yes, definitely. I do recommend traveling. It opens your eyes, no matter whichever country you're born in and you live in, be it the States, Australia, Europe, or even Singapore, the little red dot. But regardless of the size, it's just getting out of your comfort zone, right? You experience it.
Yes.
Like leaving the comforts of home and all that. And just going out there and meeting people. And backpacking is really very good. Yep. It's not like staying in 5-star hotel, which is the same everywhere around the world. And the people in it, it's more like stereotype. But backpackers, hostels, it's the best.
And I'm sure you have did backpacking trips before, am I right?
Oh yes.
So would you say what would be your first sort of like landmark backpacking trip? How old were you? Place us.
Okay. Late bloomer. I was late bloomer
Okay.
in everything. So when I started backpacking, it was actually in 2002 or 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where to?
It was Cambodia.
Oh, to see the Angkor Wat?
Yes, Angkor Wat.
What made you want to backpack then?
It was just a tryout, Yeah,
How long for?
traveling, on your own and living cheaply. Traveling cheaply. Because before that, my travels were like, hotels. Even if it's not 5-star, then it's 2-3-star kind of thing. But that started it, the ball rolling. From then on, when I was, 50 years old, I started backpacking.
What made you do that?
I guess maybe when I was liberated, when I split up from my husband.
Oh yes.
That's when I started just going out, traveling on my own. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To try something different.
That's
And that
right.
was that during a period? There's a 2 years period of like separation for him to find a place and to leave. Was it during then, or was it after he officially left the house?
In between, actually.
In between.
In between, yeah. Yeah, in
How
between.
was that? Like how like comparing your first backpacking experience and you traveling as a backpacker from then in Cambodia and from now, what is the difference?
What is the difference? Backpacking in Asia is so different from backpacking in Europe and South America. The hostels are, no matter what, somehow cleaner. In Asia, like Cambodia and all that, or Thailand,
Yeah.
it's somehow maybe for the price we pay, but still it's different. I think it's not as clean.
Yeah.
You got done that, right?
Yeah.
It's not as clean, right?
It's not.
You agree?
I didn't travel in Europe. So I went to the lowest of the lowest first. And then after that, when I'm older, I'll make my way up. At least that's the plan.
Okay. In Asia or in South America?
In Asia and South America. Both are quite dirty, would you say so?
Oh, is it? I don't know, South America was pretty
Or
well
maybe
managed.
Mexico though. But
Oh, Mexico is.
Peru was well managed, I would say. Yeah.
That was okay, the hostel. I should
was
have
okay.
visited you in the hostel, yeah.
Well, when I first actually got into Cusco, I was on a bus ride all the way from the north, past Lima, and then go to Cusco. It was a 3 days bus ride.
Oh my god.
And I took a cheap bus lah. So remember there was one famous bus company that all the tourists take, but that was very expensive. And the next there was no middle tier. It was that and then the lowest one. So I went to the lowest one, took that on 3 days on the bus, slept
from Colombia.
From there was Ecuador, right? Ecuador, and then you pass by, and there was the one big city. I can't remember the name right now, but from that city, I really want to go to Cusco. So I took a 3 days bus, right? I remember I even have to pee on the bus with someone sleeping beside.
I'm not surprised.
It was terrible.
No,
there was no toilet on the bus at all.
Right. Come on, I think peeing, I think so. In Bolivia, I could see just the guy in front of me and he just peed in front of me. It's like nothing. To them, it's nothing.
It's like nature.
Yes, it's nature, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, and then when I reached Cusco, I have a couch surfing host set up.
Oh.
So I went over to his place, only to know that he was living quite close to the city.
Right.
But he was he don't have any hot water at all. So you know how Cusco is cold, right? So after 3 days bus, I was really looking forward to this hot bath. This hot bath was my thing. And I was going in, I was like one of those things where I don't even know if there's no hot water you can turn from the tap. So I was wondering if there's even hot water that you could boil. And and it was dark and I couldn't see anything. I was like, I'm done. And I remember I even had to sleep on his couch, which the cleanliness is dubious.
Oh. Really? I wouldn't want to ask.
I was like, okay, I need a warm bath. So that was then I went to a hostel in Cusco, and then after that I met you.
Right. So you had a good shower.
I had a great shower in the hostel, and the hostel included breakfast, so it was fantastic.
Cool. Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, those are the best stories because you have good stories. I mean, like you eat a nice meal and then you tell friends it's a nice meal. Everyone have a nice meal all the time. I tell people all the time that when you go traveling, it's the bad things that happens to you that become a really good story.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, food is also another thing, to experience. But it's more the street food that I enjoyed.
Which country
remember
in South America?
Corazon. Remember we had the beef heart.
The
satay. Yes, it was so cheap and it was so good, and that's how I learned the word corazon from you.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. Love, heart.
Correct.
I say when I hear the songs Corazon, okay, I know there's a heart.
I'm glad that was my lasting memory for you. So on the same note, do you have any crazy stories, traveling stories?
Crazy?
Any just on top of your head?
Yeah. Okay, I was traveling actually. I started in Brazil. From Atlanta, I flew down to Miami and I started South America in January. So I flew to spend 1 month in Brazil and then down to Argentina, right through to Antarctica.
Oh, wow.
Just arrived there, went to the hostel, Ushuaia. Yes, the southernmost port. And I just went to the hostel. I said, any cruise to Antarctica? Because I learned that you have to go to hostel to get
the cheaper deal, right?
That's correct. The guy said, oh, I think there's one the next day. I said, book me on it. So I had to talk to the agent.
Uh-huh.
And the agent said, okay, can I pay cash or, credit card? And the agent said, no, you can't.
Oh, you can't?
You've got to send money, telegraphic transfer to a bank account in USA, Florida. And I said, that's crazy. I can't call my bank in Singapore to arrange for a telegraphic transfer. I said, don't you take cash? She said, no. You know why? Because they need the money out of the books in Argentina.
But even cash?
No, but then the agent cannot just take it like that.
But you go, when you reach the cruise, then you pay it to the guy.
No. It's because I had to go through this agent. She's an American young girl, actually. American young girl who's operating there.
Interesting.
Yes, and she goes to hostels and she gets all the bookings.
Oh.
And then she gives this, bank account and just... So I was saying that, okay, I spoke to her on the phone and then she came over the next morning and said, okay, you're going to leave soon. I said, okay, can I,
So you did the transfer?
No, I didn't. So I called my daughter Dawn in Sydney, which is like, I don't know how many hours difference. I said, Dawn, you need to help me. Can you remit funds? She said, sure. So she spoke to the girl and then they both, sort of like coordinated. And she said, okay, I think it sounds authentic. I'll just put you on the ship, on the cruise. You go and then I'll liaise with Dawn on this. So she trusted me in that sense and Dawn. So I went without paying actually in that sense.
How was the cruise?
Oh, mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. The colors of white and blue. It's like a different world.
Really?
It's worth going actually. It's once in a lifetime trip.
Was it like a small, like 10 people yacht?
Oh, no. It's a scientific research ship.
Oh.
Yeah. So we had about 30 or 50 passengers. And it's good that you have these 50 passengers and not those big ones where you get all sorts of tourists that it takes a while for you all just to get out onto land and then look at the penguins and all that. For us, a small ship. So it's easy. Everyone goes on land.
And it's a 2 days, 3 days sort of adventure, or 7 days like Galapagos.
No, it's about 12 days.
Oh, it's 12 days.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you buy enough books or?
No, nothing.
No cameras.
No cameras, sadly. But I'll be clicking away too much.
How's the 12 days on board the ship?
Oh, fantastic food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the first 2 days, crossing the passageway that everyone threw up. Because the Drake passage, it was terrible. Yeah.
Did you?
Terrible. But coming back was easier. I did once only. Then after that, I could eat. Yeah.
Okay.
It was terrible. Up and down, up and down.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got to see penguins though.
Oh, yes. Even whales and all. Yeah. It's amazing.
I would want to go too.
Yeah, go.
One day when I have more money, not when I'm couch surfing. I don't think there's a couch surfing boat that I can sleep on to see penguins, right?
Or join the crew.
Join the cruise.
Yeah.
What was the impetus to make you go on such the 400 days adventure around the world?
Yeah, I resigned from my job, cushy job, and I told my boss, I'm going around the world. That's it. I didn't do much research, actually.
No?
No. South America, I didn't do research.
At all?
You
got a Lonely Planet, though.
Oh, yeah.
That was all the research.
In USA,
Okay.
my niece, she asked me, what do you want? I said, can you buy for me this, South American book, shoestring, book and all that. And she said, yeah, okay. And she gave it to me as a Christmas present. That's cool. But my first stop was Switzerland. And after that, going to Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, it was no research. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Yeah.
I doubt a lot of people would be able to do that. How do you learn to do?
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah, Brian. I'm sure you went through that, right?
Yes.
But you're a lazy traveler, right?
Yes.
You stay put for...
Yes.
Whereas for me, I
took my
was just
time.
on the go.
You're on the go.
Yep. 2-3 days, 3 nights in a place. And if I like that place, then I'll stay maybe a week, But it's more from the travelers that I said, like I met a young German boy and he said, no, you've got to go to Bulgaria, which was not on my list.
Right.
From Romania. And I
Right.
said, okay, I'll go there. So I went to Bulgaria and it was fantastic. It was the cheapest country in
Eastern Europe.
Eastern Europe, and fantastic place I went to.
Yes? How's
Places.
Bulgaria? I've never been.
Yeah, but try that. It's so cheap. Can you imagine a rickety bus
Okay.
going down south to Greek border?
Yeah.
It had Wi-Fi on board. I was like, what the hell? Even Singapore doesn't have that.
Are you sure though? Because you don't have anything to try the Wi-Fi
Yeah,
with
lah.
you.
But it says Wi-Fi on board.
Okay.
And the number, they gave the password.
Oh, give the
and all
password
that.
too. So
Yeah, I was like, wow.
people are using the phone or...
No, it's only locals.
Oh, okay.
I went on board, it was just locals, no foreigners.
Wow.
Yeah. Went to Melnik, and it's a wine growing area. And that's
wow, that
where
must be fantastic.
Churchill ordered his red wine. Oh, that was
Oh.
a discovery. It's like, wow.
Wow.
No, it's really fantastic.
Was it good, the wine?
Yeah. And so cheap.
Those were the best.
yeah.
Were you when you were there? Did you backpack like hostels, dormitory, or did you Airbnb? There wasn't Airbnbs there back when we
No.
were traveling.
No, I didn't try. I didn't want to try because being a female, although there were other female travelers from the West, they were trying all their Airbnb,
Couch surfing.
couch surfing. Yeah, but no. For me, it was just hostel. And I tried in Europe just traveling on land, no flying.
No fly.
No flying.
So
It
and
was fantastic.
Eastern
So
Europe.
green I was.
Yes, you are.
No flying.
Yes, you are green.
Yeah.
Where? How long was your trip in Europe?
In Europe?
Yes,
It's about 4 months.
4 months. And
4
where?
months.
What country did you?
Traveled
by land
in
too.
Switzerland and then went up to Berlin. Berlin was really mind blowing. Yeah, trendy and all. Berlin, and then traveled south by train to Romania, and then and I bought a bus ticket to go to Istanbul. Just there, went to the bus stop, and then I won a ticket to Istanbul. It was crazy. And I was reading like, okay, when you bought all these buses, you've got to beware of your things. You can't put it on top, where, they have this luggage compartments. Don't do that.
Why?
Just hold it with you. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I just did it. I just dumped it there, and it was all locals.
Right.
And it was like, okay, and I was very, very wary. But later on, because the locals, they're so friendly, and some of them were Turkish and some Romanians. So they went and they offered me things to eat, so I trusted them. So I think when you're traveling alone, you've got to be spontaneous and trusting. I mean, you've got to see who you can trust and all that. But for me, touch wood, everything turn out
For me
well.
too.
For you too? Huh?
Yeah. Well,
You
but then
trusted.
I guess the whole idea of putting your bag in front of you, close to you, doesn't really affect me because that's how my camera got robbed.
In the packed bus.
I was talking to you. Remember, right?
Yes.
We were out traveling. Was it the time when we saw the rainbow, or is it?
Yes. The time with the rainbow.
Right. So we were doing the rainbow, and then my bag was in front of you. It was a very packed bus. I was talking to you the whole trip.
Yes.
My bag was in front of me. Huge camera, DSLR,
It just.
gone.
But I think that's because you were holding the camera, taking a photo of it, and then.
I put it inside.
and then you put it inside, and then people see.
Still,
So
but
it's
it
tempting.
was in front of me.
Was it in front or back?
Yeah, no, my backpack was in front of me, and I was speaking to you.
Yes.
You were sitting down.
Yes, and I didn't see.
Yes.
I didn't see anything. They
So
were
I guess
very
those
fast.
maybe the whole point is just leave it upstairs and not care about it, and everything will be fine.
Yes, because it's out in the open. I think, I turned green. I was like, I don't believe it. Huh? You also, were you shocked in a way?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I was both, saddened that my photos for the day. It was beautiful photos, and those photos that I'm showing you just now is from the iPhone. So luckily, I have like those.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, like that day on the hill with the rainbow
Right.
backdrop,
Yes.
and we climbed it. We nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah, with bad knees, not perfect knees. I just managed it. I don't know how.
I was like, go. Go.
Yeah, you were saying, come on, yeah.
And we were climbing
That was
this
good.
ruins that was, I don't know how, quite
Yes.
high.
Yeah, some parts were very treacherous, Yeah,
But we did
it's
it.
frightening.
Was
We
great.
did it. Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, so I guess the question is that when you, as a solo woman traveler, have you developed any self-defense technique, any secret Krav Maga move that, other female travelers, when they travel, they could learn a couple of things?
Oh, right. Actually, I took up Taekwondo
Ooh.
up to green belt when I was like 22.
Okay.
So that helped me. So I know where to kick and where, how to defend myself and all that.
Right.
So that gives me confidence in that sense.
Okay.
Like if someone were to approach me. But of course, if there are 2 or 3 people, I can't help it.
So Taekwondo lessons for any young
Yes.
woman.
Yeah, I mean, some self-defense would really help. In a way, it's just giving confidence, but it can't defend you from...
But did you ever got to use it?
No, actually not. Although in Greece, in Pergamon city, I mean, it's old city, I was just coming down the slope, and then, there were a few guys in a hut, and I passed, I was alone, just climbing down, trekking down, and they were there, about 5 guys. They were talking, and they stopped when they saw me. And I just trekked down, and an old man was walking down slowly, and I just went to him, and we walked together. And all of a sudden, I heard footsteps behind. The 5 guys ran after us. I was like, oh my God. And they looked young and all that. And then they started approaching the old man, and they looked at me. And then one of them said, don't worry, in Greek, and saying that this is my card. He's a security guard for Pergamon city. Yeah, the Greek city, an ancient city. And I'm a security guard there. It's okay, we're all friends, we're going down there. I said, okay. And one of them even offered me a ride to my hostel. And I said, and I looked and I observed, I said, okay. So I took the ride. That's crazy, I know. But it turned out well.
Yeah?
So it's just sizing up people.
What is your secret sizing technique? If there is
Okay,
any?
when you're traveling alone, a female, approach old people,
Right.
older guys.
Not because you're old, then you get
No. Older guys, and ask for directions.
Right.
And they're patient. And they even walk me to the bus depot. I was so touched, walking me to the bus depot in Istanbul. It's
Wow.
really amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's approaching older people. Don't approach young ones who are in a hurry. Young people are always so busy. And, things may happen. I don't know. But that's my tip, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it works.
I don't know how it works for you.
For me, what kind of tips? Security tips or
Yeah.
or like old people like
Security tips.
security tips?
you know,
I think
weren't you afraid?
the just don't do stupid things. I say. I mean, drinking is a big one.
Oh,
Yeah, when you go
yes.
drinking, please don't bring out your cameras with you. In fact, there's this really cool product that they have, which is sort of like underwear, but you put all your money and your passport and your ID inside this underwear.
Oh, God.
So it's like a zip inside the underwear, then you wear your pants on it.
What if there's an sexual assault and all that?
But then it wouldn't be for your money, right?
Then they'll be saying like, hey, what's all this buzz? But in a way, it may save you from being assaulted.
Yeah, they're like, take my money.
Yeah,
take it."
take it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for security, also splitting up the money. I carried cash.
Oh, you carry cash. How much did you?
I mean, for spare, like
Right.
2,000 US, like 1,000
I carry
euro.
1,000. Yes.
Yeah. Just in case of emergency, right? Like ATMs don't work or
Yes.
things like that.
So 2 ATM cards, in case one doesn't work.
Yes.
Spare cash of 1,000 split into maybe 3. You can put in your jeans pocket. You could put under your shoes with your socks, or you could put with your toiletries. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'll say I'll do. The
Yeah.
rest of the things, just don't be too precious with the rest of the things.
Yes.
Yeah, the
And
rest,
don't show off.
nothing that money can't buy, I mean, if you
That's
have photos, now there's like high-speed internet. You could do
Yes.
Dropbox, you could send it to your Gmail.
It's true. It's true. I put my money actually, put it in some like dental floss thing, pretend, and just chuck it. Don't hide it. In hostels and all, people don't bother.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What
yes.
would we say right now is the style of traveling? Like if you were to describe like maybe in a trip, if you right now maybe tomorrow we are going to, let's say, Japan.
Yeah. Okay.
What would be this 1 week trip sort of look like?
In what sense?
In a sense whereby you know how people would go to make the decision of like going to the hotel, they'll go on this website, they'll buy the flight, they'll check out this review, they'll go to this blog, and then they go read like maybe 10 blogs, and after that they will decide on their beautiful nice little hotel that they stay in with like a pool and all, and most of the time they will be at the hotel, at the pool, not seeing Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how would your, like if you were to be going to Japan
backpacked.
next week, right?
Yeah, I backpacked in Japan actually with a girlfriend and Dawn, my daughter.
Wow.
But it was very to the minute because the trains are so precise, the timing, to the minute. But apart from that, when we reach a town, then we just,
How was your planning sort of like?
We just plan, okay, we book, the first stop would be just book a hostel. Japanese hostels are the best, the cleanest. Yeah, just book a hostel. And from there, then we book the next one and the next one. You don't need to do much. Yeah, you don't need to plan for the next 7 days.
What about coming back?
Coming back?
You don't book your flight or you book?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, book the flight. Yeah.
Okay. But you only sort of plan 3 days in advance when you want to come back.
That's right.
Right.
Yes, as long as you reach the airport.
Do you think you have some special powers that make you be so a la minute? I don't think everyone could do that.
It's going with the flow. It's going with the flow that makes it interesting and things somehow you accept. If anything like the bus breaks down, you just accept like, okay. But if you plan it such, you have to be at a place at a certain time, you just worry and stress yourself out.
Agree.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So it's going with the flow that helps.
Oh man, I couldn't even
Don't you think so?
stress enough about going with the flow. I don't know when I got maybe the idea of couch surfing actually really helps about like going with the flow, because you stay with this very interesting person, and my first couch surfing experience was actually in Australia, in Melbourne.
You're right.
And he was this one guy, Richard, good friend, Asian guy, Asian Malaysian Chinese. Drop my bag, say, okay, meet me at this station. Okay, drop your bags inside there. We're going out. I have no idea what's the plan. And so we went to Chinatown. We went to a bar at about like 4 p.m. There was a free salsa lesson. It was my first night in Melbourne and was salsaing.
Whoa.
And it was like, it was great. It was free,
Right,
So we went
right.
on our salsa lesson. And then after that, we went over to Chinatown to walk around, to drink some friends at the bar. And we walked around Chinatown for a bit and food. And then after that, we came back to the home, and the night was great. So when we came back to home, Richard had this vest on him. Yeah, this like because Melbourne's cold.
Yes,
right? So
yes,
instead of
yes,
a jacket, he had a vest. So he took out this vest, and behind him, kid you not, there's this knife, not a small one, there's a huge knife this big.
Shoot.
I was like, my first couch surfing experience, like, should I, like pretend not to see it? Should I ask him? I don't know. I don't know what to do. And of course, he being an experienced couch surfer, he sort of saw me look at it, and Richard's like, okay, calm down.
What was he wearing it for?
Yeah, well, he actually, Australia and the US are allies. And when Richard's actually ex-military, so he's a parachuter. Correct. So he was in every war after the Vietnam War.
Okay.
And the thing about wearing a knife, although he can carry a gun because he has a license to do that, but a knife he told me that instills more, not fear, but people usually get knife cuts.
Right.
So they know how painful it is to get cut by a knife. Versus if someone were holding a gun to you, they probably don't want to shoot you.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why he chose a knife. And also, I think on top of that, the knife saved him.
Oh.
And being in, I guess when you're trained military, you want to be in control of the situation. So, and kid you not, we were salsaing.
Yeah, with that.
Yes.
On his back.
But after that, I think life just opens my mind up that So what? I mean, we think that he carried a knife being such a,
Yeah,
it's
it's-
crazy. Right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's crazy too.
Yeah.
But
to
at the
him-
same time, like I also accepted that he's a great guy. He let me stay in his
Yes.
house. He brought me out. I even invited him to Singapore to stay at my
Right.
house.
Okay.
We went body flying thing together
Okay.
in Genting. And so like why can't you hang out with a person that's carrying a knife on his back? Like when you like a person or when you get to accept the person as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my threshold of weirdness
Yes.
just got way higher.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're very accepting.
Yeah, and
Isn't
also
it? Yes,
I think that helps
traveling
with the whole going the flow idea.
Yes, yes. It has changed my life actually, this round the world trip, that I'm more patient and more, what's the word? Yeah. Accepting other people for what they are in a way, especially when you're traveling.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
it's just a big world out there, and
Yes.
why should we impose our sense of normalness to others? And in fact, maybe we are the one that's weird.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yes. Like in Chile or what, I met an old Japanese guy, toothless.
Toothless.
And he looked like 70 something. And he just enjoyed trekking.
Oh.
And he couldn't speak a word of South America Spanish
Yes.
or even like English, just Japanese.
Just Japanese.
But I just sat next to him and sort of like spoke a little bit of English, and he opened up,
Okay.
and I could gather from him that his wife is at home and he's just taking a holiday,
Oh.
1 month holiday in South America
Oh.
for trekking.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
it's amazing.
doesn't speak a word
Doesn't
of no English, no Spanish.
No English, and he sleeps in hostel, and my head's off. Japan,
Yeah.
the old folks are traveling just like that.
How old is he?
He didn't bring a backpack that
Oh, he didn't?
See, he didn't, but it was like a luggage. But he was adventurous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh? 70 something.
Yes, it is. I mean, I would want to be like that.
Yes, me
Too.
too.
Okay, so let's move on. Because more than that, I think that you are also great as a person in your relationship. So you have actually an interesting love life than most Singaporean. I think it's interesting from my perspective. In many ways, great.
Cut.
Do you mind? Do you mind if you leave the curtains to speak about your relationship with your
With my
ex-lover?
ex-lover? Who's that?
Let's just put in Darren, your Don's dad.
Errol. Oh no, my husband.
Your ex.
My husband.
Is this your husband?
No.
Right, so ex-lover would be the term.
Well, what a word, lover. Ex-partner.
Ex-partner.
Right. In
Do you
what
mind?
sense?
Yeah, okay. Well, you have a fantastic run with Darren for more than
Errol?
20. Errol. Okay, so you don't mind.
We
using-
met in 1978, and then we split up in 2000.
You have a beautiful baby girl, Dawn.
Right.
And one day you woke up and decided that both of you are not meant to move on. Right?
It's not one day that I woke up. Hello? No. Actually, we met when I was about 26 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, my friends were all getting married, this and that. But for me, it's like, wow. So I was like pretty late bloomer.
Okay.
So we didn't get married till the age when I was 32 because we waited for our HDB
26
5-room
to
flat.
32.
Yeah, it's about 6 years almost, right? It was a good relationship because we liked the same things like bird watching, stargazing. We joined a nature society and all that. It's really, it's lovely. Till actually, maybe after that, our communication broke down, which is so sad. Yeah, in the mid-1990s, it started. And also maybe I had also other family things, my mom, my sister, cancer, and then my mom also had problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so maybe after that, our communication broke down.
And what was the sort of the decision pulling?
Okay.
Because you told me in a very beautiful way, remember?
Oh, like if I can't hug a person in bed, I can't carry on living with that person.
How did you came out with that? Like, or was it
I
something
guess
that
maybe because of communication breaking down, we don't hug each other and all that. And yeah, when we shared the bed, but one is sleeping on that side and, extreme ends of the bed, although we're still sharing the same bed. And I think that's terrible. And I wouldn't go through a marriage because of that. Of course, I tried to bring in counseling and all that, but being a male, I guess it doesn't work out. They didn't want to. So, okay, then after about 1 year, then I said, I think we should just split up so that he can have the opportunity of having a good life and not sleeping on a bed without hugging. And me too,
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if I were to be married to a person right up to 80s, I would still like to hug that person in bed.
Yes. And Dawn,
it?
was Dawn affected in any way? How old was she when you guys decided to separate?
About 13 or 14.
Okay.
Physically separate, but actually he still had keys to our home.
Oh.
So he was still like part of the family. He walked in and out, it's like his home. So it wasn't really.
So from then when you told him till when he left, it's actually
There was
2 years,
2 years, yes. So that
Oh.
yes, he could get his own flat and all that. So he was still part of the family. Yeah.
Was it hard to
We
break the
still
news
ate
to Dawn?
together. No, we just said, okay, we're splitting up. That's it. Papa will move out. But she was still around till 2 years later. Papa will move out, but he still come home, this and that. So it's okay.
How
So
do
I'm
you
not
explain
sure.
to Dawn?
Just said that it isn't none of her fault or anything. It's my fault, actually,
Okay.
because I have changed. Women evolve, honestly.
I think people evolve, not just women.
I don't know. But in this case, his Arrow is someone who's just the same. Even now, we're still very good friends. When I went round the world trip, he took care of my estate, He's my POA.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's still a very good friend. It's like a brother to me.
And how does he see it?
Yeah, he's still,
Comes and goes, gets to
Comes
meet
and
for lunch,
go.
coffee.
Yeah.
Speak
We
about
still
life.
meet up. Yeah, that's right.
How fun.
Yeah,
How fun.
and he actually remarried after that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he was even faster than you.
Definitely. I never remarried. Although I had a few relationships after that.
Have you met the beautiful other half of the Arrow?
Yes.
Was she?
She's accepting of us.
Aw.
Yeah, in that sense.
How
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Dawn this year 29,
Oh, she's 29.
living in
this year.
Sydney. On her
Yes.
4th year of studying how to poke needles into people and feeding them with interesting species of nature in hopes to get them better. Am I right?
Oh, yes. Yep.
How did she get into that? How did that happen?
Oh, it's her dream. Yeah. Mom, I'm following my dream. I want to help people. Well, she had a master's in MIB, international business and all that, but somehow it's not her.
Uh-huh.
So she said, I'm going to have, my dream of helping people. So she's taken up TCM in Sydney, of all places. Why don't come back to Singapore and do it? No, I remain there because it's bilingual. Whereas here at Nanyang University, maybe it's in Chinese. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, but it is in Chinese, yeah.
And have she tested you as a guinea pig to test her?
Massage, yes.
Oh,
The
massage.
tweener kind of thing,
Not the
wow. The chi massage.
Yeah?
Whoa. But it's really good.
Yeah?
It's really good. Yeah.
What,
And now she's telling me, Mom, you shouldn't be taking this and that. I say, whoa, who's telling me what not to eat?
Dawn spent her adolescence years, actually quite a long time. How long has she been in Sydney already?
Since 2007. So when she was 20, she went there. So now it's going to be 10 years next year.
Wow.
She loves Sydney. And I love Sydney too. It's beautiful. Yeah.
You're quite a mom to let your daughter go on such
Oh,
grand adventure
yes.
on studying.
not? No, not that. Live apart. Even let's say if she were to return to Singapore, no, we're not going to live under the same roof.
Or you demand her not to live under the same roof with you.
If she's here in Singapore,
Right.
no. You live in another,
Your own
flat.
thing.
Yes, that's right.
Why do you think
Of course, we
that's...
can eat together and all that, but live separately. I think I encourage young people to travel. If possible, if they can afford it, study abroad.
Yes.
It's not the paper, but it's the life experience of mixing with different nationalities, different types of people. And also make a mistake and then get up and do, and carry on with living. Yeah. Of course, I have experienced that I'm like a mom and I worry for her and all that. But being away, whatever she does, I trust her. Fundamental years of first 5 years, that's very important, right? So she's been brought up properly and all that. So she knows what is right and what is wrong. Yeah. So it's trusting her. And whatever mistake she's done, just carry on. Yep. Do it and make the mistake.
Why do you think in Singapore parents are the opposite of you?
Yeah, I do.
And how do you become the opposite of them? That's also another.
Oh yeah, when we first started sending her to primary 1, I didn't want any elite schools. No way. You're going to, out of convenience, you're going to walk across to that school in Tampines. We'll teach you how to walk. And she did. On the third day, she walked to school, crossing the major road, cross pedestrian crossing and just go to school. That's how it is. I'm not going to drive you all the way to a school, maybe in East Coast or whatever, Yeah, no way. I will not give in to that.
What made you make that decision?
Because education is not about paper chase for me. It's more like she's learning and she's in this school, she's mixing around with people whose father is maybe a taxi driver, whose father may be a doctor, this and that, but not an elite school whereby it's all professional parents. What the hell? She's not learning. Yeah. So it's more like, just go and mix around with people. And I feel that is an experience, isn't it? I mean, for her to decide to go to poly also, I say, okay, if that's what you want, go for it. You don't need to do your A levels, in JCs and all that.
Great.
Just do whatever.
Will you say that her walking back herself alone versus her friends who are being fetched around, have a maid come pick them up?
Primary, yeah.
How does she feel about it?
I don't know. She's just accepted it as
Okay.
It's part of life. I guess maybe it's all your environment and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in your past life, you were a pretty good investment banker. You even set up
private, not investment.
Private.
There's a difference between investment banking and private banking.
Okay, we don't want to go into the detail on that. Pretty good private banker. You even set up an entire department in the bank in Sydney at the age of 54.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And
I helped set it up.
Yeah, I mean, people pay for the entire expat package for you to set up this whole thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't actually study that, and only after later part, and then you actually, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a university degree and all that, Yep, just A levels, and that's about it.
And on top of that, they, at the age of 54, they paid for your entire package to move you on an expat package.
Right.
To Sydney.
Yes.
So tapping on your knowledge, if there's one thing or investment concept for the youth, like me,
yeah, all right.
What should we start, looking at, study, or dabble our hands and feet into?
I think the way to go is, if you want to work for someone, you should be happy in what you're doing. Yep. Building up a home, then okay, go for it. Work for a company and then it pays you well. Suffer a few years and then you build up your finances and then okay. But I would actually encourage now, entrepreneurship is really something that's in. And I would encourage that actually, because you're working for yourself and it's your money and you work hard for it, and that's how it is. It's so rewarding, I feel. Of course, it's tough doing your own business, I think. Right? It's tough.
Yes.
But you get the satisfaction. You've got your freedom. your time, which actually can be really full chock-a-block, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's different from working for someone. You may feel frustrated with a boss or colleagues or something like that, isn't it?
For sure.
What do
I
you
mean,
think?
you set your own time, you set who you want to work with.
Yeah.
I think that is, and then you're doing what you want to do.
Right. And at a young age, 20 something, I think it's really fantastic. It's a sharp learning curve, but I think it's really fantastic experience. By the time you're my age, I think you're way ahead of me. Honestly.
What is a
I can't
hate?
imagine you at age 60 something. Prosperous, huh?
Prosperous. Huh?
Huh?
Have you-
SGX listed company.
Oh. One day when that happens.
Yeah, you've got how many years? Hello, 40 years ahead of you to catch up with me, in a way.
Yes, in a way, but also things are very expensive these days, hey?
No hack about the things being expensive, actually. Somehow.
We're just fine.
Yeah, because
way.
when I was young, things seemed so expensive.
Yes.
But somehow you just,
Manage.
manage it. Yeah.
Well, what about, say, for example, right now, I saved up, I start my business,
Yeah.
and I saved up 50 grand.
Ooh.
And, I mean, not that saying I have 50 grand,
Yeah.
but I have some money. What should I look into if I want to invest that amount of money? Or should I even invest?
Okay. So you want this 50K, you want to put it aside as security, or you want to, depends on your business,
Yeah.
you want to pump it back?
No, so
Some people
right now my
would-
business is okay. It's self-run.
Okay, it's self-run. Then
So
the
the
50K.
extra K, extra money.
All right. Conservatively, then I would recommend you go into equities, dividend paying, good blue chips, or if not, read about it. Yeah. I mean, the companies that you're going into. Equity is the best, the way to go. I mean, of course, there's up and down, Now it's pretty flat. But in the long run, if you average your dollar, as you say, then in
So
the
you
long
would say
run,
go
20
look into
years
like
from
read
now-
about like dollar cost averaging,
Yes.
read about look into equities and blue chip stocks.
Yes, because you're young, you see, you're 20 something. Yeah. And dividends, and you can get out of it. If you lose that 50K, you can still rebuild it.
And then as important as it is to make a good decision on investing, it's also important to avoid bad decision. So
You can't. How do you avoid? How
is
do
there
you know a
any
decision
bad
is bad?
decisions that you think like people, I mean, over your years of private greed, how did that relate
I mean,
to
I've
action?
met
How do you avoid that?
multimillionaires and all that. Actually, all these people, it's the good investors or these people that become so wealthy, they put money into their business. And then with the spare cash, then reaps a profit, and then that they invest properly for the family. That's how it is. So they put their money into the business first.
And then how they greed like sort of like made them.
But then you get the average Joe in the street who maybe has 1-2 million, because being private banker with service clients who are above US 1 million, they're the ones, 1-2 million, they're the ones who are, some of them, conservative yet greedy. They want high returns, low risk. There's no such thing as high returns, low risk. It's always high returns, high risk. So if you put in 50,000, be prepared to lose it. If you have the attitude, be prepared to lose it, then you wouldn't be so stressed out.
What would be something that's like low returns? What are we looking? What percentage are we looking at?
Low returns?
Yeah,
Like
low
fixed
return,
deposit.
low risk.
Fixed deposit, lah.
1%, right?
Yeah, that's low risk.
Okay, so let's wrap up here and let's go on to the last topic. We've established that earlier that you have lived more than half a century
Yeah,
on this
oh my
planet. And then at the same time, you exude such positivity and like basking in joy of life. In many ways, you're quite a role model to many people. So,
gosh.
what is the secret of growing up?
Yeah, what's the secret of growing up? Take things as they come. Don't have, don't make regrets or anything. If something bad happens, just move on. Learn from it. Like the mistake you've done. Learn from it. What did I go wrong, with it? So, yeah, let's learn from it and then just carry on
Okay.
to the next thing. Yeah?
Right.
Yeah.
And is there anything that at the age of 64 you either look forward or look back at, and something that you try or something you're good or maybe didn't enjoy? Is there anything that you kind of want to become awesome at in the coming years?
Awesome at in coming years? Meditation, actually.
Oh, why?
That if I could just spend 1 hour meditating. I've done the 10-day meditation,
silent retreat.
Vipassana. That's correct. I mean, 10 days no talking
Wow.
with about 10 hours of meditating. I've gone through that. It's amazing. It's really great experience. But I wish that now I can make it a part of my routine life. Yeah, that I can spend. But it's like 1 hour is so long, isn't it?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
But it's just giving yourself that peace, It's like
Why don't you start with
we
10
bathe
minutes?
ourselves. Yeah, 10 minutes, I do that in the
Okay.
mornings. I do that. 15 minutes is nothing. But 1 hour is like us, meditation is like us taking a shower to clean up.
Yeah.
So meditating is cleaning up your mind.
Agree.
Actually, try that.
Would do. 1 hour. I'll start with 10 minutes though.
10 minutes is good enough. Yeah. 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So, this is a round quick question, but it
Yeah.
don't need to be answered quick.
Uh-huh.
Advice for your 18-year-old self and places where you're at.
At 18,
Yeah.
advice. At 18, I just finished my A levels. That time was higher school certificate, and I'm raring to go out and work to earn money. Yeah, that was it. So, an advice to an 18-year-old: carry on studying if you can. Education is so important. It's not for the paper, as I've always told Don. It's more your life experience, that if you're studying in a circle of people, you meet different people. Yep. Before you go out into the working world. And these days, I think you do need some paper qualifications in that sense. Unless you're really fantastic in what you're doing.
Don't look at me.
Either that, or if you have a passion for something, you don't need the paper qualifications and you're really into something, go for it. Easier said than done, isn't it?
It is.
Huh?
Yes.
But it's nice being studying, actually, because I was deprived, actually almost deprived of education. My mom didn't want to send me to school till my sister was telling her, hey, send her to school. So I went to school at the age of 8,
Wow.
actually. Yeah, my 8th year. So I'm just 1 year senior,
of everybody.
of everyone. And there at only age 10, at age 10, primary 3, that I learned that, gosh, it's so important to study. And that's when I aced, in all my subjects, in class and all that, because
Wow.
I realized it's so important. I went to school without knowing, a word of English.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that's how I learned that I've got to read. And that's how I taught myself English, besides the nuns, Irish nuns in school, We couldn't speak dialect. I spoke Teochew. Yeah. We were fined if we do that. Yeah, we did that.
What
Yeah.
is one thing that you own that you should probably throw out but never will?
Actually, my suitcase.
Because now you're,
No, the big suitcase. Yeah.
now you're
I should throw
backpack
it
already,
out.
what?
Backpack or a travel light.
Right.
But a big suitcase, I think I should throw it out. But then I keep it because it's good storage, to put things in it.
Fair enough. Will you recommend any books or documentary? Top 3 books,
Top 3 books.
or one if you have any.
Just a writer, actually, I would recommend.
Oh, who?
Tart, Tartt. She is such a fantastic writer. She's written, I think, 3 books, and I've read all her 3 books, and they're so thick. Her books
500, 600 pages.
You're right. She actually got an award for something, but it's really, her books are so amazing. You just can't bear to put it down.
Which one should I start with if I'm starting?
Oh gosh, I've got a bad memory for titles and all that, but I just know that her surname is Tartt.
Yeah.
She's written 3 books. One is actually about a boy. He became an orphan, and then he grew up and he became an art dealer or something like that, and
Okay.
he traded in it and all that, but crookedly.
I'll find the link and I'll send you and you can confirm it's that book.
Yeah, TARTT.
Okay. Any morning routines or habit that you find important?
Oh, yep. Getting up, doing my yoga, and meditation for 1 hour. Yes, after brushing teeth, I do that, and it really is sort of like, wow, especially now that I'm retired.
Okay.
Then after that, I'm just on the go. Yeah.
Got it. If you have a bus poster,
Mm-hmm.
you can design it.
You're right.
What is it going to say?
Bus poster. Come on board, be green.
Okay.
Enjoy the ride.
When you think of the word successful, who came into your mind and why?
A living person, non-living person, or whatever. Dalai Lama. Yeah. Why is he? I consider him successful because the way he talks, and of course he's got the balance in life, from what he's been through when he was young and all that, escaping Chinese regime. It's he takes things in a way lightly, his laughter and all that. It's so amazing. And the way he explains things. You ask him a question, he explains it in layman terms. And it makes so much sense. Yeah. His advice is really fantastic.
Okay. You said that you're a misfit. So what are some of the most common misconceptions about you? This is the time we can clear it up.
Right on. Yes. My colleagues used to think that, this Betty is like, she's got potato in the mouth or something like that. And they say, yeah, you're so Western. I say, are you joking? I take Chinese medicine, no, and you don't take Chinese medicine. And this lady, one day, she asked me, how do you whisk an egg? I say, use a fork lah. Oh, I use chopstick. What's she trying to say to me? Like, what the hell? And just because I can speak to my European colleagues, it doesn't mean I can't speak to my, the janitor. I speak to them also, so what? I'm not such a misfit, am I?
Yeah. Well, so last question for the day. If you have a time machine, when will you travel to and why, and what will you do there?
Time machine.
Yes.
Regardless of my age.
Yeah, right now.
No, right now.
Yeah.
50 years from now.
You go into the future.
Yes.
Where will you be? And what will you be doing?
No, I just want to see what the world is like, 50 years from now. I mean, telecommunication and all that technology, it has, over the past few years, it's already improved. 50 years from now, it's going to be, wow. We'll be traveling up in the air,
Teleporting.
Yes, I think that's the way to go. I'm sure.
Okay, well done. We're done. Thank you. Thank you.
What's up, people? It's over. So all show notes, links to books, website, as well as the picture of me and Betty on top of this beautiful Inca ruin can be found on the website brianvictor.com. If you guys have any comments on how I can improve the show or better questions to ask, please comment a blog post. Also, if you have any questions for Betty, feel free to put it there too. Lastly, if you have any recommendations for people you would like to hear from, any misfits, feel free to drop me an email to tell me who are those people and why you think they're awesome. So in the coming weeks, we will have Fuck a Fuss, a stand-up comedian who has came a long way from being a security guard at shopping malls to having his own 1-hour comedy special. So if you want to get updated, you can sign up for the mailing list on the website. I will see you soon.